I am Cristian Măcelaru, and I'm the music director designate of the Cincinnati Symphony Orchestra. Music for me as a child was, of course, something that was omnipresent because I was born in a musical family. All my siblings played musical instruments. I'm the youngest of 10 kids, so by the time I came along, music was something that was just around me all the time. And I think it gave me this idea that life is good when you're surrounded by music. And without music, all the time in my life, I feel quite lonely. And that's why I think, because of my upbringing, because of the amount of music that was in my life from early on, it's why I chose a path in music, for sure. So before the revolution of '89, Romania was, of course, a communist society with a communist government. And in the 80s in Romania, it was the darkest time because the country was going through tremendous poverty. And we did not have a context of what liberty was. We did not know what the outside world was like. I was 10 years old when the revolution happened, so I vividly remember many, many things. And I remember a spirit and a feeling of euphoria immediately after the revolution. And I didn't understand what it meant, the government changing. I just knew that all of a sudden there was freedom. Everyone talked about freedom. What is freedom? And this concept, this liberty, euphoria of freedom is actually what inspired me. And at the time I developed this idea that actually, I need to do more to discover this freedom. I need to find out more about this freedom that people were talking about. And of course, the ideal of America was what resonated with me most about freedom. My father was very, very dedicated to education. To him, education was the most important thing. Also, a little bit out of fear, I think, I developed this tunnel vision focus on the idea of playing the violin. And I started really loving the idea that I could be good at something. So the first time I heard about Interlochen was in 1996. My sister was working as a social worker with an American foundation that was helping facilitate adoptions. And there is this family that comes to adopt a son who was exactly my age. He was 16 years old. I was 16 at the time as well. And we became quite close because they stayed in Romania for 3 weeks. Before they left, they said, we are from Michigan, we're from Grand Rapids, and just 2 hours north of our house, there is this really wonderful camp for music where kids come from all over the world to study music for the summer. And we would love for you to come. If you can come, we will pay for the plane ticket and we'll facilitate it for you. And I said immediately, yes, absolutely. There's no question that I would like to do this. They asked Interlochen to send me the materials to apply. One of the requirements was, fill out this application, and if you cannot show up in person for a live audition, send a videotape. So I found, this one person in our town that had an American-style videotape because it was a different system. You just turn on the camera, play everything. Thank you very much. I had to have a letter of recommendation from my principal at the school, who, by the way, I went to talk to her and I said, I need a letter of recommendation. She said, I've never written a letter of recommendation. I'm not really sure. What am I supposed to say? And I said, well, just tell them that I'm really great. So I filled this application best I could. I sent it to Interlochen. I hear nothing, June, July, and I'm like, okay, well, the camp is done, July, September, October, November, nothing, I don't hear anything. And then I remember in December, just before Christmas, I received a big letter from the United States, from Interlochen, and I opened the letter, and when I read, it says, congratulations, you have been accepted and received full scholarship to attend the Interlochen Arts Academy starting in September 1997. So I called the family in Grand Rapids. I called and I said, can you please help me? I said, I don't understand, what has happened? And they said, oh my gosh, she said, you must have filled the wrong application because you are accepted to the academy, not to the camp. An academy is extremely prestigious and you receive the full scholarship. And I asked him, I said, well, does that plane ticket, does it apply to the academy as well, or is it just for the camp? He said, no, we'll hold our end of the bargain and pay for the plane ticket. And that's how I ended up coming to Interlochen. definitely think that the greatest story of success for me is the fact that somehow along the way there were so many people that just happened to exist that guided me in the right direction. So maybe it sounds like a cliche what I'm saying, but I'm a strong believer in the fact that the doors that close in one's life end up defining their path much more than the doors that open. I see this at every turn of my life. There are these people that have become just incredible light posts on my path through the darkness of life. Yes, I do consider myself an American conductor. I consider myself an American conductor of Romanian origin. And the reason why I say that is because America is different from other countries in the sense that it's not the geography of where you were born, but the concept that you adopt that makes you American. And America is all about understanding an ideal that we all share and an ideal that we all subscribe to. This concept of freedom, which was, born in me at the age of 10 when I experienced the revolution in Romania, which is why I consider myself an American conductor, because I adopted this ideal and I benefited from the great education that I could receive here. And I am of Romanian origin, but I am an American conductor.